Apologies for the first time round. I have got a kitten in the house, and the kitten decided to wake up and start making noise and meowing right outside my door. So my apologies for that. So let's get into this post-fight reaction to Tank Davis versus King Ryan Garcia. In the pre-fight, I mentioned, and one gentleman in particular was talking about, you don't rate Ryan Garcia, or maybe you don't rate Ryan Garcia. He was a national Golden Glove champion, and he's had X amount of amateur fights, and he's got a big left hook, and that's what everyone's talking about. A lot of people talk about his big left hook, and how all he has to do is touch Gervonta Davis, and yeah, that's fair enough. But I was saying in my pre-fight, when you're the A side in a fight, then you come in the weight you want to come in at, you fight your venue, you do things in your own, more or less in your comfort zone. Do you understand? Your opponent's not going to be dictating to you when you can eat, when you can't eat, when you hydrate, when you don't hydrate. And the B side certainly is not dehydrating you. So I don't want to harp on about the hydration, dehydration or rehydration clause, because it happens all the time in boxing. It just seems to be highlighted more in this particular fight. But, there are weight categories for a reason. Ryan pushed for this fight. And I said in the pre-fight, who did Ryan Garcia actually fight to prepare him for Tank Davis? Now, if he had fought, Isaac Pitbull, right? I said before, he'd have been more prepared for Garcia, because first of all, shooting that left hook, he was shooting a left hook, but at no point in time was he able to adjust that left hook and make it short, or to keep Tank at the end of that left hook, which I said in the pre-fight. I said that you need to keep it long, and you need to keep Tank at the end of that left hook, at the end of the jab, at the end of the right hand. So hit him on the tip of the chin. But we didn't see that. What we did see is that I said, as soon as Tank gets close to this guy and he lets his shots go, you saw what happened. Ryan Garcia came in, left himself exposed, and bang with a left straight through the middle. I said that was his Tank Davis' shot, and you saw it just there. It drops Garcia. You see, Garcia had a lot of things to consider in the fight. He couldn't just come out and do what he normally does, was to come out and start throwing shots. Instead, what he had to do is consider. See, I got this kitten starting up again. Sorry, my apologies. But what he had to consider is that when I come in throwing these shots, have I got the energy to do 12 rounds? Have I got the strength to do 12 rounds? I can, what's my durability like? And he found out in the second round when he got hit with a shot and he went down. He went, I know how much I've got left in this fight. He knew about his durability there. He's able to get straight back up. But that took something out of Ryan Garcia as far as I'm concerned. And even when he did hit Tank Davis clean with the right hand, no reaction. Because I question how strong, actually, Ryan Garcia might have looked good, but I question how strong he physically was in the ring. On the night, yes, they both weighed the same, but there's difference. When, you looked at Tank, he looked very healthy. In the face, he looked full. Garcia looked like he just put the weight back on afterwards. And even then, he still didn't look the same physical specimen that he is when he normally fights. So all those things considered. And then, of course, the body shot. That was a telling blow. When he threw the body shot, it's similar to when Hopkins hit Oscar to the body. When Garcia got hit to the body, I ask everybody this question. If Garcia got hit to the body with that same shot, without the rehydration clause, would he have responded? His body responded in the same way. The body failed him. The body failed him as far as I'm concerned. The body failed him because he got hit with such a good shot. And it doesn't actually matter who you are in the world. That shot he got hit with, it's a shot where you can't train. You can't put muscles in that area. When you get hit with that body, that shot to the body, all right, in the sort of liver, kidney area. You get hit with that shot. In that area, there's no muscle you can put on in that area. So if you get hit with that shot, no matter who you are in the world, you're gonna go over. So, and it was a delayed reaction to that as well. So, and if Garcia got up, there's a lot of things you have to consider. When he went down, he's like, oh, gee, this hurts. Then he's looking at Tank Davis. He's already tasted the power once. He's gone down to that body shot, and he's like, I've got nothing left. I've actually got nothing left. If I get up now, like 6, 7, if I get up now, this guy's going to jump on me. He's going to jump on me. He's going to knock me out. And do I really want to get knocked out? That's going through your head. He's processing that. He's also processing the fact that the pain he's going through and he can hardly breathe. So those things he's considering. And at the end of the day, he thinks of, you know what? If I get up, I'm going to get absolutely destroyed. So better let me stay where I am. So, so for me, it was a perfect shot from Tank. For me, like I said, he should have jumped on Tank early. The first couple of rounds, he jumped to him early. But because when you don't have the proper boxing fundamentals, when you actually decide to jump on someone recklessly, when I talk about reckless, another guy who's reckless, got stopped tonight was Alan Babbage, former unbeaten heavyweight. I think Dillian White manages him, Croatian, moved down to Bridgerweight, and another one who's reckless. Reckless, fights with his chin in the air, doesn't pay no attention to defense. Got stopped him around fighting for the Bridgerweight Championship of the world. Again, these guys who don't pay attention to defense and always think about what they're throwing but don't think about what's coming back. This is what happens, you know. It's happened to guys like this. And he kept throwing his left hook, and he kept throwing left hook, and Tank kept slipping under that left hook. I'm surprised. Joe Goosen didn't say anything to him about it much. You know, he did have some success early on. He seemed to unsettle Tank early. I'd like to see more of that. Really go for it. Let his hands go. When he's up close against Tank. Not when he gives Tank distance. When he was up close, right on top of Tank. That's what I'd like to see Garcia do. Up close. Short punches. I'd like to see him throw the uppercut. Once I saw Ryan try and throw the uppercut. When Tank would come in, never threw the uppercut once. And I felt to myself, at least if he'd thrown the uppercut, that would have been a deterrent for Tank to come in the way he did. But I said, as soon as Tank gets close to that body, as soon as he gets close and onto Ryan Garcia up close, fight is over. And I mentioned in the fight what his body would be like when Gervonta went to the body, what the resistance was like. And you saw what resistance was there. Slim and none. And Slim left town. So, am I surprised? Not really. Congratulations to Gervonta Davis. I'm still a little confused as to why fighting Ryan Garcia, who's not a world champion, who's never held a world title, who was still an unknown quantity and had all those Twitter and social media followers, how he becomes the guy you beat to become the face of boxing. I don't understand that, and I don't agree with that. Is Tank Davis explosive? Sure. Can he box? Sure. Is he exciting to watch? Yes. Would I go run home to watch him fight? Yeah, I would. But is he the face of boxing? That, for me, I ain't so sure of. I think he's exciting. Yeah, he's pay-per-view. He gets knockouts. But I still think if someone's going to beat Tank, it's got to be in those first 3 rounds. Because I think he's unsure of himself in the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds is gone, and I know it's this thing, every time that Ryan would throw the jab, he wouldn't bring it back to his face straight away. He'd leave himself open every time. And I saw Tank looking at that. So when Ryan Garcia kind of jumped on him recklessly, left himself exposed, Tank was able to do checkmate with him. But I don't think after 7 rounds going onwards, it would have been good for Garcia at all. And I don't think there's anything Garcia could do, even in a rematch, to beat Tank Davis. I just don't. He's not going to hit him with that left hook. He had nothing on that right hand when he did hit Tank with it. So, right. So what are you going to do now? I don't know. I would like to see Garcia fight Pitbull. That's the fight I'd like to see him in, to show me that he really is a legitimate world-class fighter. But I don't see how by beating Ryan Garcia you become the face of boxing. I don't. Just like I never bought into the baddest man on the planet. When they called Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson was considered the baddest man on the planet, did he actually beat the baddest man on the planet at the time to become the baddest man on the planet? So who was the baddest man on the planet? Was that Trevor Berbick? Was he the baddest man on the planet? Was it Pinklon Thomas? Was he the baddest man on the planet? Was it Bon Chris Smith? Was he the baddest man on the planet? Was it Frank Bruno? Was he the baddest man on the planet? What fight was it that Mike Tyson fought that made him the baddest man on the planet? So there's that one, is marketing tool, and now this one, the face of boxing. Well, I guess Showtime, PBC want to have a star. They've got a star in Gervonta Davis, but again, is he the face of boxing? No, sir. He's not the face of boxing. Not yet. If he now goes on and beats, say he moves up, or he fights Haney, he beats Haney, or he beats another one of these names that has got some legitimacy about them, maybe we can have that conversation about face of boxing. Pay-per-view, yes. Face of boxing, no, sir. Not yet. I think, that Canelo he's got the reputation, he's got the longevity to some degree, even though I think that even with Canelo himself, he's a really good boxer. Like, the last time he fought a really good boxer was Floyd Mayweather. And then he fought Bivol afterwards. And I knew he wouldn't beat Bivol. So it's what it is. I wouldn't even say Tyson Fury is the face of boxing, because if you look at the sort of fights he's having, he's fighting guys like Dillian White and Derek Chisora, and now he's going to fight Kubrat Pulev. That does not make you the face of boxing, I'm afraid to say. The same sort of things that Tyson Fury criticized Vladimir Klitschko for in his title offenses is exactly what Tyson Fury is doing at the moment. So I don't want to hear that. I don't know. And when you say in the face of boxing, I don't know. Deontay Wilder, until he got beat by Tyson Fury, with the sort of knockouts he was displaying, especially where he knocked out Dominic Brazil, I would have put him more closer to being the face of boxing before he got beat by Tyson Fury. I'm just giving you and the reason for that is just the explosiveness, the punching power, the just how dynamic he is, and people just love seeing him get those knockouts, and at the heavyweight division. So a smaller guy, again, being the face of boxing, I don't know. Roy Jones Jr. could have been the face of, he was the face of boxing at one point, so I don't know. I knew Tank was on smoke and was gonna sim when he brought out Chef Keith. Garcia looked very nervous on his ring walk. I would feel very nervous too, because I'm going into the ring an unknown quantity. I'm not going into the ring 100%. and you can't make complaints afterwards. He shouldn't have taken a fight against Tank. People say, oh yeah, he was brave. He went in there against Tank. He proved he'd fight anybody. That would have boosted his followers to some point. But people follow success. People don't follow failure. So he'll take a loss in that in terms of followers, because you've got fickle followers in boxing. You lose your unbeaten record, and people don't want to know you. So it is what it is with Ryan Garcia now. Shouldn't have taken that fight. Surely should not have taken that fight. And as far as I'm concerned, I think it backfired. But then, having said that, if he'd fought Pitbull, I believe, could have beaten him. I think Pitbull would have walked Garcia down. He would have walked Garcia down, because I just don't see how Garcia would have landed that left hook. And so we know now the guys that are shorter than Garcia, much shorter than Garcia, that can slip under the left hook. He's got all that body to hit. And when he gets hit to the body, we know that there's going to be an issue there. Whether that issue to the body is because he was rehydrated, that issue, I don't know. Will he fight in that division again? I don't know. I didn't buy into all the face of boxing super fight talk. It was a big event. Yeah, it was a big event. And I'm not gonna lie, because those two guys made the event what it was. I'm not gonna lie. And of course, they've both got big followings. But I said it in the pre-fight. You know that Ryan Garcia is not coming in 100% for super fight. Hagler Hearns super fight. Leonard Hearns super fight. Ryan fought Tank because it was going to be for a huge payday. Yeah, payday. You want to have a payday. I know you want payday. So yeah. And people around close to, Ryan would say, or boxing people say, man, you took this fight, but you could have, it's a huge gamble. And he could say, well, it's a huge gamble and I got beat by the face of boxing. That's what he could say. And fair enough. He showed that he's not scared. Showed he's got some heart. But Canelo told Ryan not to take the fight. Yeah. Canelo knows what it's about. Canelo knows, because I think people close to Ryan know that, but I don't know. I don't know if he took the fight also to kind of continue his gambling habits, because I hear that Ryan's quite a heavy gambler. I don't know how true that is. And if he's got issues with gambling and, he needed money for it to continue his gambling habits, I don't know. I can't speak on his personal life, but I know it was a suicidal fight to take. Absolutely suicidal. And I don't know. I know that, but Ryan Garcia to me wasn't a guy that, it wasn't like, for example, a guy like in a situation like with Joe Joyce, where Joe Joyce got beat. Joe Joyce got beat, but he was on the verge of a world title shot, and he genuinely was world class and dangerous. Yeah, he fought with his face. But, he just fought a guy, he fought a southpaw, and I don't think he was prepared to fight the southpaw. I don't know how much southpaw sparring actually got to fight Zhilei Zhang. But that was even more suicidal fight. And it wasn't even for, and the thing that makes it even worse, it wasn't even for a world title fight. It was a catchweight fight. It wasn't even for a world title. So where exactly does Ryan Garcia go from here? Where does he go? Does he stay at that weight? Does he move back up? Because he's a growing lad. I don't think he can stay at that weight. So I think he'll have to go back up in weight. But again, if he fights anybody that's anybody who's A side, they know what to do with him. So the advantage is because Gervonta was moving up, so they might not be able to train him the same way at 140 pounds. Do you understand? So that might not work out. The only other thing I'm thinking of is maybe him fighting somebody fighting at 147 pound, a catch weight 147 pounds, something like that. I don't know. There will have to be somebody lower to draw him, to bring him down in weight again. But I don't know if he'd fall for that trick again, or put himself in that position again. But then the other thing is, you've got to think to yourself, well, I gambled big, and I took the opportunity, and people know I'm not scared to fight anybody. That's what people say. Well, Ryan Garcia's not scared to fight anybody. Even though he got beat, he ain't scared to fight anybody. But, you know, it might be even easier to negotiate fights for Ryan Garcia now. Not that I thought he was a big danger. I thought that his relationship with Joe Goosen should have been able to mature, and I think that he should have had more fights under Goosen. And I think he should have prepared better. I.e., one thing he should have done is not taken so long out. He should have not taken this fight. He said, oh, well, the fight wasn't there. No, the fight was there. The fight was there. In fact, if he had not taken this fight and had a fight in between, not Davis, I still think Pitbull was a dangerous fight. But okay, if you're going to lose to Pitbull, then that counts you out of a tank fight. So you may as well take the tank fight, take your licks. But he should fight. I think he should fight Pitbull. I'd like to see him fight Pitbull. And if he can beat Pitbull, and that would be a great test. If he can beat Pitbull, then I think he can really climb the ladder and make a statement for himself. Ryan needs to stick with one trainer. Well, I think him and Goosen were a good partnership. I just think Goosen was trying to slow him down, and Ryan was just impatient. So he got what he wanted. Which is, you know, I don't know. Did they announce the Spence versus Crawford fight? Because they said that at the end of the Garcia fight that Spence Crawford would be announced. Does anybody know if that fight's been announced or not, or is still more April Fool's jokes? Because I'm tired, man. I'm tired of hearing about Spence versus Crawford. Face of boxing for me, skills and personality must be both the ticket. Tank's personality kind of odd. Yeah, he has got a kind of odd sort of. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if you can have a face of boxing in the lightweight division. I don't know. See, I don't know. Welterweight, is Tank Davis more of a face of boxing than Errol Spence? Is he? If Spence was fighting regular, is he? I don't know about that. I'd say Spence is more of a face. It's more of a face of boxing than Tank Davis, in my opinion. And the level of competition Spence has had, he's far more of a face of boxing for me. And that's just my take on it, you know? Spence versus Crawford's a shame, yeah. I mean, I thought that they said at the end of this fight they were going to announce Spence versus Crawford. I didn't hear no announcement. Did you hear the announcement? I don't know. Maybe one of the channels were making the announcement. I don't know. You know, I'll tell you something. People have got time to waste. They make all these posters they make these posters, and these posters actually look better than the actual official announcements. You know? I think to myself, you got time to do that. I don't know. So if anybody can tell me if that Spence Crawford fight was announced at the Ryan Garcia fight, I don't. Nope, another April Fool's. Muhammad Ali is a dictionary definition of face of boxing. He absolutely is. Ali could have been a face of boxing. He is the face of boxing. Tyson, the face of boxing. Ray Leonard, the face of boxing. Errol Spence, I think it would be a face of boxing. I don't know. there's a certain star power, and I think guys in their heavier weight divisions can easily make that sort of like star of boxing, face of boxing, Canelo, bigger guys, and I think maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but I think a star of boxing should be able to speak English. I mean, De La Hoya, face of boxing, you could see, and he's the golden boy. I don't know about things he's doing outside the ring, but there's certain star power, star quality that you would think a face of boxing needs to have. But Gervonta Davis is no face of boxing, sorry. And that's just my take on it. I think faces of boxing need to start from welterweight upwards. I'm telling you, if Inoue was a middleweight or a welterweight, he could be a face of boxing. Tyson Fury could be the face of boxing. He just got to fight quality opponents. And yes, he fought Deontay Wilder and he fought Klitschko. But other than that, fighting Derek Chisora and Dillian White and Thomas Schwartz, and they're not the fights that make you a face of boxing. And I'm not sure if beating Ryan Garcia makes you the face of boxing. But again, I'm just repeating myself now. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate you all. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. Leave your comments as always. What do you think are the hallmarks of a face of boxing? And do you think a face of boxing can be in the lighter weight divisions, or do they have to be in the heavyweight division, middleweight, welterweight division? Where does Tank go from here? Where does Ryan Garcia go from here? Thanks for watching. I'm out.